Is Animal Crossing evil? Picture this, you've just moved to a new city, but before the sun even sets, you find yourself thousands in debt. You can barely furnish your house, which, by the way, is filled with cockroaches. You're forced to pick fruit and fish and look through trash all day to scrounge up a living, and every time you make some sort of headway with your debt, you manage to only pile on more and more and more.
All right, well, now we're broke. Give me some money out of these trees.
This is Animal Crossing, one of Nintendo's most beloved and highest grossing franchises. That's right, we're not just describing life after graduating college with a student loan, we're describing an actual debt simulator that people pay lots and lots of money to play. Animal Crossing sells itself as an idyllic, peaceful, slow life game meant to be played throughout the year and that you can escape to. Your neighbors are adorable animals that could charm the pants off of anyone, so much so that most of them are already pantsless to begin with. I don't know what that's about.
Go creep around naked. Goes with his hippie mentality that he just walks around naked.
But while we love Animal Crossing for its busybody gameplay, it could very well be seen as a forced labor camp pretending to be Disney World. It's run by a few authorities who are capitalism mongers at best and dictators at worst. And it's no coincidence that shopkeeper Tom Nook's name rhymes with crook. He's the one that jumps at the chance to keep everyone in the town in debt and under his control. And Animal Crossing New Leaf might want you to think you have control as mayor, but who are you kidding? We know who really runs this town. The more debt you rack up, the more successful Tom becomes with his ever-expanding store and real estate business. At one point, he even commissions his own beauty parlor. And don't even get me started on the other tyrannical authority in the game, Mr. Rossetti. He's the mole who verbally abuses you for 10 minutes if you dare turn the game off without saving. Mr. Rossetti is a hint at the secretly authoritarian nature of Animal Crossing systems. He's so upsetting that some of the game's manuals actually warn parents that he'd probably disturb their children, which should be a sign. And Nook and Rossetti are just the half of it. The game itself sets up a strict and inflexible schedule players must either abide by or else. Because Animal Crossing is a game that works in real time. You can only unlock certain rare treasures like bugs, insects, and furniture at specific times. And since the game celebrates real-world holidays with even more unique opportunities and events for players, it becomes a very demanding second life. Did you want to spend Christmas with your family? Too bad. Christmas only happens once a year in Animal Crossing 2, and you wouldn't want to miss out on Jingle's special piece of furniture this year, would you? In this game, you're considered less of a player and more of a user. You're incentivized to get your daily, if not hourly fix in order to experience it fully. You can't have a real life and play Animal Crossing to perfection at the same time. It's either one or the other.
That's enough working out for today. My body is ready.
If you neglect to play often enough, your town becomes overrun with weeds, and your adorable neighbors use mom-like guilt tactics to make you feel horrible about it. I mean, residents actually move out of town because of your neglect. And by the way, does this guilt-based gaming sound familiar at all? It should, because it's the basis for most free-to-play models now too. The success of games like Animal Crossing encouraged game makers to employ gameplay that demands more and more of the player's daily time and attention. As the precursor of obligation-based gaming, you could thank Animal Crossing for all those Farmville notifications. It's a game that taught designers, hey, you don't have to make your game fun, as long as you design it to make playing feel like a compulsion.
I found friends who also enjoy Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing is taking over my life.
Nowadays, it's standard for games to make you feel like a failure if you don't give it enough of your soul, or your wallet for that matter, which is pretty messed up, right? But okay, while it's clearly easy to twist this game to fit a forced labor camp version of reality, this doesn't answer the question of why people still play it. I love this game and I still play it despite everything I just mentioned. The thing is, Animal Crossing wasn't created to be an evil time suck, nor does it thrive on in-game purchases, because that would be a total disaster. For us as players, it'd be very, very lucrative for Nintendo, so thank God they didn't do that. Regardless, even if the game feels like you can't ever quit, there are good intentions behind its design. The year-round, slow gaming experience is what's called trickle-down content. Animal Crossing isn't afraid to take its time and build a long-lasting relationship with its players. At the very least then, it's not the continuous dopamine jolt used in free-to-play models like Farmville. Animal Crossing is first and foremost about building a sense of community. So sure, you might have to give up some of your weekend for a fishing tournament, but did you see the blue marlin I caught? Totally worth missing my nephew's graduation for, right? Animal Crossing has brought countless hours of joy to millions of people. It's a game that more and more emphasizes friendships with real-world people through online play. The year-round gameplay creates an illusion that the game is always on, and you'll never feel alone because you can always jump in and see what your virtual buddies are up to. You could very well twist this game to fit a forced labor camp version of reality, but it doesn't feel that way to play it though, does it? To me, it feels more like a family. Sometimes it makes you feel guilty and like it's too much work to maintain, and sometimes it asks you when you're gonna get a real job and when you're gonna give them grandkids. But it's also really rewarding in the weirdest ways possible. And yes, I'm still talking about Animal Crossing. Despite all its quirks, at the very least, it's always there for you. And always will be. So what do you think? Is Animal Crossing totally evil or totally harmless? Hash it out in the comments, and if you like what you saw, please subscribe. And before we go, a quick note. So we're gonna try something a little bit differently going forward, so please bear with us. We're gonna break out comments. You might have noticed that Mike from Idea Channel did that, and we feel like it's a sort of a good step forward for us. One of the things that we've noticed from week to week is that sometimes you wanna continue a conversation on a much longer time scale than what we've actually been able to give you. So we feel like separating comments will be able to allow for that sort of like after episode dialogue that we think is super important. It's gonna be a little bit of an experiment, so please bear with us, and please let us know what you think about trying to do that, but hopefully it will be a net positive for everyone.